Danielle Smith from 770 CHQR now joins us to continue this conversation. Of course, all of this is happening, Danielle, as the budget remains top of mind for a lot of people.
Well, exactly. And the city's got some real problems because they've continued to grow their spending year over year at a rate that outpaces inflation and population growth. And they've got a collapse in their business revenues. And there's a very little tolerance on the part of homeowners to shoulder an increasing amount of that burden. I mean, it's pretty remarkable when we were going through watching what a tax shift means. Even a tiny percentage move of taking business taxes and putting them over on residential has a big impact on the average homeowner. So they're in a position now where they've got to figure out how to become more lean. And these two pools, the Beltline pool and the Inglewood, just give you the example of why it can be so difficult. $600,000 shortfall in how it's running. But as soon as you make a move to shut them down, people say, wait a minute, that's an important community asset. We better find a way to save it. So I appreciate that the city has some real challenges in how to address this issue. I'm going to have Marcel Latouche on today to talk about this because the city is using an outside consultant to try to now figure out ways in which they can find efficiencies. Marcel has always said that recreation centers, while they could be built by the city, ought to be run by a private independent group, because a private independent group is, to Doug's point, they have a vested interest in doing the marketing and making people aware of it in the community and trying new fun things to try to bring people in a way that is pretty difficult to do when it's in a massive bureaucracy. So that would be one. The other thing is it now time to be looking at NMAX and whether or not NMAX is yielding enough for the city of Calgary? I've had a couple of people raise this with me, that the dividend that NMAX pays on its operations is substantially lower than what EPCOR pays to the city of Edmonton. Calgarians, of course, are the sole shareholder of NMAX, and there's some real questions about why it is they're not ponying up more dollars, especially as they're looking for ways to ease this budget crunch. So we're going to talk through those things today.
Do you think that the city would go for that, to have that conversation about NMAX?
Well, I think it is up to the city to have it. It's not a matter of, I mean, there's a whole other debate about whether you privatize a portion of it, which would be very controversial. But having them pay a dividend out of their profits is something that they do anyway. Having them pay a dividend that would be consistent with what they would be paying in other jurisdictions, that seems to be kind of a no-brainer conversation. So we're going to see what some of the barriers to that might be. And we'll try to put it on the agenda because it could be another easy way to get more revenues. They're collecting it anyway from ratepayers. And so why wouldn't ratepayers be the ones who benefit?
Danielle Smith from 770 CHQR. Our show starts at 9:30. Thanks, Danielle.
Yeah, thank you.